Hello and welcome to the 10th anniversary of BBC News School Report. It's Thursday the 10th of March and here are today's headlines.
Ahead of the EU referendum in June, we look at the facts of whether to stay or leave the European Union. In its second day, the junior doctors of the NHS continue their 48-hour strike. After the floods of December 2015, we have been speaking to Shirley Mouchette, project manager of the Hawick flood protection scheme, to find out how the floods affected the people of this community. Primary 6 pupil from Trinity Primary School takes part in the junior MasterChef competition, and Jack has all the latest sports news.
In its 10th year, Hawick High News present BBC News School Report.
Hello, it has been announced that on Thursday the 23rd of June 2016, the United Kingdom will be voting in a referendum to decide if the UK should stay in the European Union.
The European Union is a partnership between 28 different countries and was set up prior to World War II in hope of avoiding another war.
Natasha has more in this story.
The European Union has evolved into what is called a single market. This includes free movement of peoples, where European citizens can move throughout Europe without the need of a passport. The trading goods in this single market is much easier for countries, and some believe that eager working immigrants make large contributions to the British economy. The EU has its own currency and parliament, which impacts greatly on how the UK is run. Many are opposed to this ruling, believing it is too controlling, and has called for an in-out referendum. Some polls suggest that the British public is very evenly divided in their opinion, but real result will appear on the 23rd of June when a decision is finally made.
As part of the Prime Minister's campaign, David Cameron has already been part of the negotiation for special treatment of Britain's membership should the public wish to stay. Conditions of the special treatment include changes to child benefits system, exclusion from all euro bailouts, and some restrictions on free movement of peoples. The Prime Minister will convey full benefits of staying in the EU today after claims of pessimism on David Cameron's behalf. Mr Cameron has been widely accused of being part of so-called Project Fear in the No campaign.
Sensationalist tabloid The Sun has reported yesterday that Her Royal Highness was allegedly in favour of a British exit from the EU. The report stated that the Queen got into a heated conversation with former Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg over Britain's future in Europe in 2011. The ex-leader of the Liberal Democrats branded the claims were written by the newspaper as nonsense. Buckingham Palace has denied all allegations and stated that the Queen remains politically neutral.
Now for a brief look at some of today's other headlines.
The US presidential election campaigns continued yesterday, with the Republican Donald Trump winning 3 more states in his bid to become the candidate for election in his party. Rivals Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton battled it out in a debate in Florida, as they both hope to become the Democratic representative when the final vote takes place in November of this year.
Come along to the S1 Sports Relief Bake Sale at break time in the link on Tuesday the 15th of March for some lovely cakes and treats.
Mr Potts would like to say a huge thank you to all pupils and staff who kindly donated to the LGBT fundraising event at the end of February. A total of £171 was raised. Here he is explaining what the group is about.
Hi there, I'm Mr Potts from the LGBT plus group, and this is Miss McFarlane. We set up the group to have all pupils who feel included within the school. The LGBT plus group has never existed in Hawick High School before, and this is the first time the school has had one. We're starting to make links with other high schools, Selkirk High School and People's High School, who have set up clubs in the past, and we are starting to integrate together. So LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender. Lesbian is defined as a female who is sexually, physically or emotionally attracted to another female. Gay is defined as a male who is sexually, physically or emotionally attracted to another male. Bisexual is a female or male who is sexually, sexually, physically or emotionally attracted to both genders, and transgender is an umbrella term for someone who does not conform to the social norms of gender identity, but there is some in between sometimes with their gender expression or identity. Miss McFarlane's going to tell you a little bit more about Purple Friday, which was a couple of weeks ago.
So a couple of weeks ago we did something called Purple Friday, which is to raise awareness against homophobia, biphobia and transphobia. So that's an unnecessary hatred of anyone that falls on the LGBT spectrum. So what we did for that was we all added something purple to our uniforms and we all donated £1. We raised £171 for LGBT Youth Scotland, which is fantastic because without them we couldn't have a club like the one we do just now. So if anyone likes to come along to our club, we meet on Wednesday at lunchtime. We're open to all students, including those that don't identify as LGBT, but would like to come along and see what we're doing as well.
Congratulations to Merlin, Sophie, Hannah, Archie and Emils on winning the geography cake competition.
As part of the S2 Social Subjects course on Armed Forces, the department combined with home economics to learn about the topic physically.
All S2s learnt about the topic and then created their cakes over 2 periods in the home economics department.
I think from our point of view, we then lead on to MasterChef, the next unit that we look at, so it's all about kind of personalisation and choice. They've got to take responsibility for being organised for that and bringing in their ingredients and bringing in kind of service dishes and such like, doing a bit of research at home.
The junior doctor dispute is beginning to take its toll on the NHS, health service leaders are warning, as medics take part in their 3rd strike.
Ross has been across to Hawick Community Hospital to get the opinion of employees at the hospital.
On the 10th of March, the junior doctors' strike bellowed on its 2nd day. Thousands of operations were being cancelled because of the strike against government row for a new contract. The strike is taking place outside local and community hospitals in Britain, and now NHS are using 20 banks and agency staff to help cover shortages of doctors and nurses. The reason of this problem is because the government are unable to pay enough for the staff. I've been talking to local people about the current situation.
I don't agree with it. I think you can't help when you're ill, and if you're ill and need attention, you need a doctor.
What benefits do you think this strike will have?
I really don't think it'll have any benefits. I think it'll alienate the public opinion of them.
What is your opinion on junior doctors' strike?
My personal opinion, because obviously I can't express the opinion of NHS borders, but my personal opinion is they're fighting for a cause. And it's a very good cause. I think, media kind of display the wrong kind of information, which can make the public quite subjective. I don't think anybody should ever underestimate how hard these people work before they qualify and after they qualify. They're working all hours, overnight, then back onto days, and to not be paid appropriately for that, I think is wrong.
What do you think the benefits of the strike will be?
I think if anything, it's getting the government to step in notice. I think the media will certainly help with that. But it's about, these caring professionals getting their point over, that this isn't all about money, because you don't go into a career in health just thinking of the money. It is very much about wanting to do a job and do it properly. Even as a nurse, everything I do, I'm accountable for. So if I give you a medicine that makes you unwell, I need to know what it can do to you, and if it's made you unwell, have I done the right thing? And years down the line, I can be held accountable for that.
This is the first of 3 strikes which are set to continue from now to April the 26th. This has been Ross reporting for BBC News School Report.
Over the past few months, flooding has devastated the lives of many families and businesses around the River Teviot.
Kira has been finding out how the floods have impacted upon the local area.
In December 2015, Hawick was hit by some of the worst flooding seen since 2005. Flooding affected many parts of Scotland after the country was battered by strong winds and heavy rain brought by Storm Desmond. Around 600 people were evacuated from their homes on the 5th of December when the floods hit. I spoke with Johnstons of Elgin to find out how they were affected by the floods. How badly were you affected by the floods of December 2015?
Well, with past experiences, our factory next to the river, we were quite prepared this year. We had our sandbags not ready, and when we got the call in at 2 o'clock, I think it was a Saturday morning, we had the sandbags out within an hour around all the doorways and that, so we were quite lucky we didn't have much damage.
Does the council or government do enough to help flood victims?
I would say no. I think over the years you've seen the damage it does to people's houses, in their furniture, in their clothing. I think somebody has to help the people. They've had it for 2 or 3 times now, so there has to be some substance there for somebody to help them.
I'm also here with the janitor of Trinity Primary School discussing how the floods of December 2015 affected the school.
Hi there, I'm Graham Reid, I'm the janitor at Trinity Primary School. I've been here a few years, and over the years we've been flooded thrice, and in 2015 was probably some of the worst we had. This is us in the boiler house now, which bore the brunt of the damage, especially during the floods of December the 5th. The water on the Sunday morning when I come down about 6:30 was actually about 1 metre deep in here, and as you can see on the Saturday when it started to fill up, it comes up through the floor. We put sandbags round the boilers to protect them for a wee while before we got an engineer across. He removed the burners, removed the control panels. We got anything that was going to be damaged out of the boiler house, and literally for the next 36 hours we pumped water non-stop out of here. It was really a matter of saving the boilers, because without the boilers we can't heat the school, and the school wouldn't have been in.
Shirley Musher is the project manager of the Hawick Flood Protection Scheme. I have been speaking to her and started off by asking what her role is in the flood protection scheme.
I'm the project manager for the Hawick Flood Protection Scheme. That means I look after the money, the programme. I also have to get on board some of the engineers to design the scheme. I also liaise with the community and key stakeholders, who are the businesses that have been affected, the householders, and telling everybody about the scheme. Part of the process to get the scheme into place, we need to notify everyone that's in the affected area. So that means that you could benefit from the flood scheme, and that we protect you from flooding in the future.
If people would like to get involved in the scheme, how can they do this?
Get in touch with myself either through the Facebook page, which is Hawick Flood Protection Scheme page, or our email address. And we also have a website, but the other thing to add is we have public events happening all the time. Get in touch if you want to be involved. I'll point you in the right direction of when these events are on.
Primary 6 pupils from Trinity Primary School have been working with Miss Gray and the Home Economics Department in a junior MasterChef competition.
In a primary school, it is difficult task to achieve certain learning outcomes due to limited resources. Therefore, Hawick High School has provided a place where primary pupils can achieve these outcomes.
Well, P6 are going up to the high school to do a MasterChef, and basically you cook and then see who's the winner and everything like that. Learning how to cook and learning about food. Like working well together and like just cooking.
One of them was skiving school, and the other one was just having the experience to go up to the high school.
Being the boss of Charlie.
Yeah, it was quite exciting because it's a lot different to this school.
Yeah, because I've got one step ahead for when I go to high school.
Yes. Yeah, really exciting. Got to do different stuff and learn what the place is about.
Pasta with a cheese sauce with fried chicken and a whole onion. A tomato sauce with bacon peppers and onion.
We made spaghetti with pepper chicken.
I made a chicken and broccoli pasta bake. Murray's 21st century dish. Different type, like hygiene, to remember to wash your hands, and like don't mix veg with the raw chicken for food poisoning. How to cook pasta and hygiene rules.
Hygiene rules and how to cook properly.
How to chop properly. How to make sure it's ready.
I'll say us, but realistically, Emily G and Charlie.
I think Charlie and Emily have got a good chance. Emily and Charlie are going to win.
Me and Ray.
Me and Charlie.
Well, joining us now is Trinity Primary School head teacher Mr. Lindsay and Primary 6 teacher Miss Kinsella. Now, does this type of project improve the link between primary and secondary schools?
I think it does. I mean, I think from our point of view, it's about developing good relationships with staff at the high school. So from a professional point of view, that's really important. And for the children, I think it gives them that confidence to know, okay, it's not that scary. It's just a school. You know, it's just like any other school, but bigger. To see the place, to see the classrooms, to see and meet teachers is really important. And it just all starts that process of kind of feeling more comfortable about that transition, that change up to high school at the end of next year for our primary sixes.
Has the project been a success, and have the pupils enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been very, very successful. The children are very positive about going up to the high school now, whereas before it was a very daunting process. Meeting one of the teachers up there has been really beneficial because they now are a lot more comfortable at heading up there in the next couple of years, and it's very limited what we can do in the primary school when it comes to cooking. We have a little oven that doesn't really work to the best and we have limited baking and cooking facilities, so to actually take them up there and let them just experience it, see do their own shopping skills and have enough resources to cover the whole class has been fantastic, and the kids have absolutely loved it. You can tell they're coming back, they're talking. We've had a lot of feedback from parents about what such a positive project it's been, and definitely one that they've gone home and did own personal research into as well. So here's hoping we've got a couple of budding chefs in the making after it. Yeah, it's been really good.
I just want to say, a really big thanks from Trinity to the high school staff as well, who've had the vision to make this happen, and the enthusiasm and the drive, and they've welcomed the kids into the school so warmly. And thanks to Miss Kinsella in Primary 6, who's done a great job in terms of firing the kids up and keeping them on task and keeping them well drilled in terms of doing this. So these things don't happen by accident, so I'm really grateful to the staff who've made that happen.
Mr. Lindsay and Miss Kinsella from Trinity Primary School speaking there.
Now it's time for the latest sports with Jack.
We'll start off with the football. Last night, Chelsea exited the UEFA Champions League after a 2-1 loss to French champions PSG. They lost the first leg of the same score in Paris, so lost overall on aggregate 4-2. PSG progressed to the quarter-finals, along with Benfica, who made a light work of Zenit St. Petersburg. On Tuesday evening, Real Madrid comfortably dispatched of Roma in the Champions League with a 2-0 win on the night and 4-0 on aggregate. There was also action in the Scottish Premiership last night as St Johnstone managed to defeat Inverness Caley Thistle 1-0. Coming up closer to home, Hawick Albion are playing away at Orbiston on Saturday the 19th of March in the East Scotland First Division. The Six Nations this week is really heating up, with the first game including Ireland and Italy. Neither of them have won a game this year, so it could be a tense battle, and they're both trying to avoid the wooden spoon. England and Wales has been described as one of the biggest games of the year's competition. It's a battle of revenge for England, but the game could well decide the winner of the Six Nations. Scotland versus France. Scotland will fancy their chances after a good win against Italy 2 weeks ago. so it should be a fantastic game. A lot of supporters are travelling up to Hawick for this game. We hope they all have a brilliant day.
Now let's take a look at the weather with Ryan.
Hello there, it's been a bright but chilly day today, with temperature only going up to about 7 degrees Celsius. Luckily there is no rain forecast for the rest of today. There will be some rain on Saturday with a cloudy Friday and Sunday. Thankfully things look a lot brighter next week with sunny days forecast all week. Now back to Emily and Daniel in the studio.
Well, that's it for this year's BBC News School Report from Hawick High School.
For all our coverage of the news stories from throughout the day, go online to hawickhighschool.co.uk/school report.
If you haven't already, make sure to download the new Hawick High School app, which is available to download now on iOS and Android.
However, for now, from all of the news team here, goodbye and thank you very much for watching.